What was it with that sub trip? How long was that trip? A
Okay,
day?
that's another thing they will do. So what would happen is like you put the work in. I think that was what 7 months. I think we said or whatever. It was 7 months in or whatever, 6 months, whatever. And what they'll do is you put in right. I You're gonna put in for this sub or whatever it could have been, whatever project, and they'll go do a double run on you. You put it in and they get there without. We give it to them next time. You get me? You don't know.
Oh shit!
You get me? Get that?
You just catch
Because
it. You can
they're
catch
not
it
gonna
from
tell
any
you.
angle that day. You could just be the one.
Yeah. So basically, it depends. So basically, like they already had a system. Listen, for all you know, there could be only three submarines, and there ain't fucking six, seven of them.
Right.
And then one leaves, and then they'll be like, they won't say nothing. They're like, oh, we're still in the process. We're still in the process, and just do it. And the motherfucker probably got there.
Right.
Um, the work got there, and then they basically sent money again to buy more, and then basically they're just playing with your money. You get
Yeah,
me?
they're the bank. They're taking your money and they're investing it in you while you wait.
While you wait, yeah,
Some of a bitch.
yeah. So hey, just for now, let's talk about something. And I want to. I'm gonna say for I think I said it before to you, Shia, on this that I really believe that you know all them Chapo and all them people, they thought about cooperating. I mean, Chapo already had been cooperating, and Mayo had people. They work with the government all the time, but they actually had thought about maybe um, turning themselves in or doing something like that, especially with the what happened with the Norte del Valle cartel. Like 70, 80% of those dudes from Colombia turned themselves in to cooperate, and I think they could have thought about it, but I think they were scared. And I basically on our own, without us thinking about it, we became like kind of their guinea pigs, right? They're test dummies, right? Because after we did it, I do believe that we kind of pushed them over the edge to say you guys could do it too. And what you're talking about is that yes, uh, Chapo Mayo wanted, and other jugglers wanted their kids to just go ahead and turn themselves in and cooperate. Um, but when they asked that question, for instance, like the one about mini leak and all that, Chapo's son said, "Hell no, we're not doing it." So uh, other people just chickened out and didn't do it either. Eventually, they're gonna go do it, but not at that time. So I do feel like we inspired them. Being honest, you know what? I think that like, look, I'm not like just so you know, they're more advanced than in the way of thinking because they've been in the game longer, right? And they've been doing all kinds of shit, this type of stuff for like a long time, right? Um, so it's like for their kids, I believe so.
Right. Right.
For their kids, once their kids had issues, yeah, they thought about their kids actually, turning themselves in and doing some time and starting a new life because that's what even them like Chapo Mayo and all them drug lords. That's what they want for their own kids. And I think that especially when after the novella came out, I think they kind of just made them think about it a lot more. But again, they already have been cooperating with the government for years. You know, maybe not to turn themselves in, but to turn in other people.
Hmm.
I didn't think about what they were thinking, but I do believe that when it came to them or their family, man, they wouldn't give a hell who they turned in or what they did. You get me? Anyone who was up, you know,
Yeah.
you have to be in it. Like I don't make excuses. I keep saying let's not make excuses why we did it. When you start seeing these things or hearing these things, it's like, damn, man, the game is messed up. Man, the game's always been fucked up.
Always.
The game, like in Mexico and with dealing with them, it's good if you're probably like in the middle, maybe. But once, like, I'm not even sure if there's a middle, but once you get to that level, it's like, bro, there's no. They decide, they make the rules, plain and simple.
since we've been talking about Diddy, did those allegations run rampant through cartel life
of like homosexuality.
of underage kids?
If you're from the Mexican culture, man, all you have to say you're from the Mexican culture, and all those dudes that age, man, that's all they talk about is virgins or whatever the case is, and we will go based on there, okay? And they'll go to any like extreme to make sure they get them. So wrap your mind around that.
Right. See?
It's just weird, bro. Like at the end of the day, I guess I mean, me and my brother were blessed enough to never become that and blessed enough to be around them. But what how people see everyone like how they see Chapo and how they see Mao, they see people on TV, whatever. I see them as just like anyone else. You get me? And I could call out dirty shit, no matter what, you know. And it's weird because it's like when people be like, "Oh, you could be a killer, you could chop people's heads off, you could steal, you could, kill women, you could do all that." Oh, but if you touch a young girl, then I'm really not gonna mess with you.
Right, right.
Like, come on, bro. Being in prison, you have a bunch of dudes like, oh, dude got 3 bodies, 5 bodies, right? But let one dude come in and be like, oh, he's a, Chester or something. And then everyone's having a meeting about it. Like, oh, what we're going to do with him, you know? And it's like, how many innocent people don't you talk about? How many people robbed a liquor store, shot somebody, killed somebody, for $20? You get me?
Right.
And this is like, I mean, I guess, man.
I hear
I
you.
don't know, just I don't have that type of like mindset or mentality, Uh, just it's sick people regardless. And I do believe that even with Diddy and stuff, and you've been in the music, right? You know entertainment, and you're in acting. I feel like once it gets to a point where things become so easy, and there is this saying that we used to always talk about, and I used to tell everybody that for a long time that I believe that for people like, for instance, Alejandro Fernandez, right, we would run into him everywhere, and women. I mean, he could get endless amount of women, okay,
Who is this guy?
but he was Alejandro Fernandez,
I don't know who he is.
the singer,
Yeah, I don't know who he is. Okay, he's a
Vicente
singer.
Fernandez's son, bro.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know shit, bro. I'm Tupac and Biggie. I'm sure we good.
Okay. So Vicente Fernandez's son. So this dude is like, he's basically like, you know who Luis Miguel is, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so he's a Luis Miguel type dude with a woman of every age, right? And then all you heard was gay stuff, and crazy stuff, orgies, and all kinds of crazy, dirty shit that you could think of, And then everybody be like, they don't understand why. And I used to be like, I guess women just got too easy for them. They wanted something more challenging, right? And I think sick minds, they get to a point where it's like, nah, they don't want a woman anymore, Then that and that. And all these people have daughters, all these people have, There was a dude from the golf cartel, and he was from the golf cartel. He was actually like a real dude from the golf cartel, And he was in Chicago. He was one of our sources of supply, and uh, we ended up having a party. And they were always because they'd be there alone, so they always were looking for girls. So it was a headache, and so sometimes we'll go like invite a bunch of strippers over, whatever the case is, And a lot of times it would be like we'll ask like, hey, you interested? But we were paying big money though, bro. For this little ass fucking chubby Mexican dude, He had class too, though. He was like a classy dude, like, but it's not what you think. But he would drink, and he would get wired all day. And there was just one girl that he was in love with, and he would ask and ask, and he like, tell her I'll give her $10,000, tell her I'll give her $20,000 or whatever, and she'd be like, nah, nah, nah. Well, anyway, on one of those parties, one of those times where she was like hanging out, and there's other girls that they brought, he I think we already had paid for him to be with a girl anyway. In the mix of uh, like being in a get together, right?
Right.
we stopped paying attention to him, and there was, a bunch of us there. He didn't go and try to rape the girl, and my guys beat the shit out of him,
Yeah.
and he was mad, and he said he wanted to kill him, and he'll be like, no, 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 you can't, pants down and everything. They beat the fuck out, and he'll be like, I'm gonna, I want them. And how could they do that? We used to be like, like, who the fuck do you think you are? And it's like they had felt like they had this authority.
Yeah, it's an entitlement. Once you start making victims, man, you got to get treated like a bitch.
Yeah, but it's crazy because I heard you mention that a few times, Shai, and I think that, man, we that should be a real conversation to all these people idolizing these dudes. You get me? And let's face it, bro. This is a problem with anyone of power, and it's a problem for even those who are not in power. You see this shit, sick shit all the time, and not only that, like you know, on some personal stuff, like some people, that I love been affected by it, and it's like I still can't even like comprehend, but it's crazy. Because I'm gonna tell you, like, and I'm gonna be honest with you about, like, I've always been open about it, but I never really thought about it, and I think that our culture, something, doesn't make you see it. But I remember doing the podcast, and this is like a real inside story. Like, I'm doing the podcast and working with Charlie Webster, and she's suffered through trauma and all kinds of abuse, and she pointed out, she kind of like, obviously she seen this or thought about it or something, and the way she delivered, I feel like, was something she had like practiced. And she was like, Jay, like, your dad was, this age. I think he was 30 or 28 or something, or 24. I mean, I have to figure that out. Whatever year, I'm just right now, just at the end of the day, it's like, but your mom was 12. And when she said it like that, it hit me like, damn. Yeah, so we could say it was part of the culture, right? We could say that shit. But I never thought about it. Why? Because it was my father, you know what I'm saying? Like, then just because you posed that question like that, was like, damn. I looked at her, and right away it's like, damn, I 100% agree. If he's my father or not, like, that was fucked up,
Yeah, your life came to you from someone else's perspective at that moment.
Yeah, something you don't think about. And I'm not making, like, if somebody, like, I always been that part. Like, if it was my wife, or if it's you, whoever it is, if someone did some fucked up shit, I don't care how much I like you, you did some fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? Including my father. And and then I thought about it, because we could say was the culture, he was raised, that, how he was raised, whatever the case is, but it's like, it's hard, man. It's hard to even understand that. And I think that even me talking to my father, he went and had more kids. And I remember, like, the girl, I think, was like a year older than me or something. And this was when I was a kid. So,
Right. Again, this was supposed to be a teaser. We got deep into it, but we'll hold that for another time when we when we sit down.
but that's the question that you should pose all the time, is like, I'm not saying it for me, because you brought it up and I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Um, like, what do you think about this? Because this is what it was, and if you remember, they argued to make sure that didn't come up at trial and stuff like that. And I think the government did want it, the world to see, what kind of stuff goes
Well,
on.
shit. Then
And
maybe don't nobody want to hear me talk about it.
it seems like that
Listen,
people,
the
like,
picking and
that you could
choosing,
feel
you
like
mean?
people don't want you to talk about the truth.
Right. And if it's out there, it's out there. Guess what? Who gave it to me? Netflix, Chapo show. When he had to grape the young lady in the jail. Now I said to myself, that's a show. I could just be pulling it out of nowhere. But they didn't put that in there for no reason. And then I started looking at other things and seeing it here, seeing it there, and I said, okay, let me ask this question to the people that are so die hard for one side or the other. When you're the underdog and you come from nothing, you feel like you want the underdog to win. And growing up where we grow up, you know that there's certain things that come with the business. With any business that has to do with the streets. It's betrayal, you lose friends, you bury people, you grief. All of these things are part of the game. You know what I'm saying? So we're able to kind of stomach those a little bit more. All right, so and so did what he had to do. You know, so and so got smoked in this whole thing, and he did what he had to do. All right, bet I can't judge him for that. But then it's like, then when it comes to this, it's like, wait a minute, there's no place for you. You know what I'm saying? There's no place for you. You hurt old people, kids. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like, there's no place for you, dog. So let's just say I'm into the drug culture, right? And I want to wear a Chapo shirt or a so-and-so shirt or whoever shirt, right? Because I want to represent that or Escobar or whatever, because I feel like that was an underdog. Dude did his thing. He came up. Woo, woo, woo. But then if I find out that that's what went down, that there was some underage kid shit going on, I don't want to wear that fucking shirt no more, dog. That's not a part of what I know.
100%. And but here's like, all right, so okay, all right, this is what we should do. You should keep posing that question, and I have a bunch of things I could like talk about that, like a lot of things. All right, and then every time I hear you talk like that, in my mind, I'm like, okay, you're right, but it's okay for the culture to like that. You know, they killed police officers. It's okay for the culture to respect that. You know, they kill police officers, military officers, they kill their family. It's okay for people to say, oh, well, they kidnap, men and women and, behead them. There's so many stories, right? So listen, one of the biggest stories that caught to me because I knew the family, and not only that, I knew one of the daughters, all right, is Chapo's partner, Eduardo Palma, okay? Eduardo Palma, like Dairianos and whoever they were dealing with put the pressure on, and they put the pressure on him, so and they threw his kids off a bridge, and then they beheaded his wife, and they sent her. They videotaped it and they sent it to him, and that was okay.
Right.
That's okay. We could still say, oh shit, let's respect them. Let's wear their gangsters. That's okay.
When I did the video on Huero Palma, my question was that when the threshold was crossed in the Mexican cartel and it became okay to go at families like that?
What you don't hear is what he did in return. Basically, he did everything. Like he did worse probably to his family, his kids,
Hmm.
but he took it like everywhere. Like to his mom, to his dad. He was looking for everyone he could find. There's a lot of stuff my dad taught me that was grateful and thankful, right? Like everyone gives you gifts. But that part about the way he was, as a father, like, when it came to women, that's one gift I didn't want. So my brother and you know, my, my older brother, Mando and Peter, I mean, we're basically all the same. We're not like womanizer. We're not cheaters, bro. We don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I guess we just didn't want to be like my dad. We saw my mom, what she went through. I, in return, like, I guess, older women. I like grandmas. Just kidding, babe. Just kidding. If you ever hear this, I'm kidding. I, I, I was always into older women. Maybe that's why, but um, it's just something to think about.
Just like kids that grow up with an alcoholic father and decide that that's not what they want. Some of them it's a subconscious decision. Some of them it's an external decision that they had to make over time, and it be like that sometimes. There's certain traits that you don't want to take with you, and there's certain things that you want to stop, nip in the bud, and not continue a cycle of. Sometimes you break cycles without even knowing it.
Yeah, so again, my father didn't drink or smoke. So in return, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I never did drugs. But I'm not gonna go, look for young girl, that's for sure.
I feel like us growing up on, watching the Scarface, coming up in the streets, all of these, we're predisposed to be numb to certain things and hypersensitive to others.
Okay, great, good conversation. Right, that's a great point that you bring up right now. Scarface, he forced himself on old girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Rocky, play games if you want
Yeah.
to. That was a
Yeah.
pressure move when Rocky had Adrian in the corner, and I'm a Rocky guy, dog. But when Rocky had Adrian in that corner, she was trying to get out. It was puro pressure. Again, this was Hollywood though. They were the worst. Just listen to the millions and millions of stories that you hear, the dirty shit that happened.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it kind of goes to like how people are brought up and, like what's their moral standings and how, their mindset on that.
I wanted to ask that question because there's people out there in the comments that be, picking and choosing their heroes, and they'd be like, "Oh, he was such a great guy," and I'm like, "Really? Was he that great of
Yeah.
a guy?"
Yo, you're in line. But I mean, it just goes like, but again, culture, right? It's just weird though. Like, there's so many things we could kind of get into, but I think that you have a little stance right there where you could be the first one to question it out loud, and you're far away from the border shy to be good.
Listen, man, I'm who the fuck I am. My face is everywhere. My name is in the credits. My stage name is even in the credits. So it is what the fuck it is. But I have my questions and I'm gonna ask them. Everybody out there talking they shit. I'm gonna talk mine. When people get into that in the comments, I'll be like, was he such a good guy, or did he enjoy time with young girls, underage girls? Cause don't come at me with this for trafficking and this and that. But he could slide. You can let him slide. He could victimize somebody like that. But again, like you said, we pick and choose because we're not worried about the guy that was tied to the tree.
But it's like that even for like, bro. It's even like that about homosexuality. Like I don't have a problem with anyone. Like, but whatever. I'm good with whatever you're good with. Like, as long as you're living your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in prison, like for instance, like Chupeta, right? In the Colombian drug lord, I think he killed like 300 people and probably sent thousands to get killed. They were okay with that,
Right.
but they were not okay with him being gay.
Mm. Yeah, they picked and
Like,
chose. Kill 300 people. Don't be gay.
you can't be gay, That's like, I don't know, it's just weird.